Hello everyone, I'm Rahmat Empowerment Wala, Lead Facilitator, Rehan School Online Academy, and I welcome all of you, my wonderful participants here in this session, which is on entrepreneurship. And we will be learning about startups, building, branding and marketing, research, and more about entrepreneurship from our very own Mike Armstrong. Mike is from Cardiff, United
Hello.
Kingdom, marketing consultant, supporting entrepreneurs and people worldwide, and running MA consultancy. So, first of all, thank you so much, Mike, for your precious time you have given us and you are supporting Rehan School students. Thank you so much. How are you today, Mike?
Very well, thank you, and thanks for having me. I love helping the next generation of entrepreneurs, so I'm glad to be here and provide some information and answer some questions. I'm looking forward to the session.
Thank you so much, Mike. Over to you, Mike. Whatever you have prepared for our students, I would like you to address to them. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Okay, brilliant. So just a little bit of background on me. I've been an entrepreneur since I was 11. I'm 49 now, coming up September. So that's 38 years. I've done a lot. I've been a lot. I've seen a lot, etc. And I'm a lifelong learner, and I learn every day, and I learn off every person I meet. And you can never stop learning. So if you have that sort of growth mentality and a growth mindset, it'll help you go a long way in life. So I've been on a lot of the Rehan School student podcasts as part of the curriculum, and I've enjoyed educating and teaching some of the young students a bit about what you learn in life, how that sort of folds out and how it pans out, how it can shape the future. And so that's why I'm here today to do some sessions with you guys, because I know you can always learn a bit more and dive deeper into some sessions. When I was on the podcast with a lot of the students, a lot of them asked me what are some of the mistakes early on that entrepreneurs make. And so today's session is going to be trying to tackle and deal with some of those early mistakes entrepreneurs make, to try and avoid you making them, or to save some time so you learn and grow quicker. Because if you can benefit from the experience of others, it can help accelerate your own performance and your own businesses, etc. So that's what I'm here to do. So some of the problems I see young entrepreneurs getting wrong early on, because in life you don't know what you don't know. You only know what you've been taught or what you do know, and so sometimes, for example, people, they start out in business or in a startup or in a business venture or a self-employed structure, freelancing or whatever, but they don't necessarily understand the market they've gone into. They don't understand the competitors, the competition, the market dynamics. They don't understand the brand positioning, the value for money proposition, all that sort of thing. So, the first thing anyone should do when they're looking to build a business and to go into business and to start a business is to actually research the market they're going into. So you can use ChatGPT and AI and all these sort of tools. I used to use Google before AI existed. I used to use Ask Jeeves before Google existed, or just ask other people. But you need to research what you're going into. What is the industry about? What the sector's about? Who are the top performers in the sector? Who are the newbies in the sector? Who are the middle market, mass market? What makes the top performers and the top sectors, the top businesses in that industry, what makes them the top? Do some research. Success leaves clues. Follow the blueprint. Have a look at how active they are. Have a look at what their pricing's like. Have a look at what their brand's messages is. Have a look at what their routes to market are. Are they selling online? Are they selling offline? Do they do wholesale? Do they do retail? Do they do affiliate schemes, reseller systems? Success leaves clues. And if you have a look at the companies who are the most successful, you'll often find similar trends. They're the ones who market the most. They're the ones who offer the best value for money proposition. They're the ones who have lots of different structures and systems in place to get customers and to grow customers. Yeah. So if you actually research your marketplace, you understand who it is you're competing with, who else is in the marketplace, what the value of the marketplace is, what the average order values are. If you research this information, before you go into the business or into the self-employment, etc., then you can actually design your business. You can design your product, your pricing, your branding. You can design everything in the way that you want it to be, rather than just the way it naturally forms. So you can actually you can grow your business much more quicker and on point if you have a plan and you have a strategy and you understand what it is you're actually trying to do. You understand your competitors, you understand your positioning against those competitors, etc. So that's the first thing that most people get wrong, is they don't market research. They don't understand what they're going into, and they learn that over the next few years on the go as they're doing what they do. But instead of taking 2, 3, 4, 5 years to learn that, you can learn it, in a day or two or a week by just researching up front. And then, so once you get started and you understand your market, you understand what you're going into, you understand who your competition is, you need to then decide, okay, where am I going to position myself? Am I positioning myself as the low cost mass numbers, mass market brand? Or am I going to position myself in the middle somewhere and be, good value for money, but maybe not the cheapest, but maybe offering different value or something unique, which is going to stand you out from the competition? Or am I going to position myself at the high end, at the top end, because either I'm an expert in that industry, or I'm going to offer exceptional value for money, or I'm going to offer exceptional customer service, or I'm going to do something unique and different that no one else is offering, which means I can position myself at the top end as a unique brand, as something that no one else is doing. So once you understand where you're positioning yourself in the marketplace, you can then come up with a name, you can come up with a brand. That brand and that name for your business needs to represent the part of the marketplace you're going into. So it needs to, if it's a high-end brand, it needs to have a high-end impact and a high-end gravitas. It needs to be something which sounds high-end and is going to, do the job. In the world of search these days, when you're picking your name and your brand for your business, you need to also think about what you're calling yourself. Are you going to put some keywords into your name, which means it helps with search when people are looking for the product or the service that you're offering? Because obviously you're going to register a domain name, maybe have a website, have social media, and those handles are going to portray a short message or statement about the business and what it is that you offer. So, for example, if you're a Fiverr freelancer, your business could be, Fiverr freelancer Pakistan, yeah. But if you pick that as a name, if you decide you want to go global down the line, then Fiverr freelancer Pakistan may only work for Pakistan and not for global and a global brand. So you have to think about, not just where am I starting and where am I at, but actually what's my plan and where am I going in the future? Because you don't want to be changing your names and your brands and your logos and all of that as you grow and as you go into new markets and new things. So if, for example, you call your business or your brand, Fiverr freelance Pakistan, but then you decide over time you want to do not just Fiverr freelancing, but you want to do Upwork and you want to do, freelancer and other stuff, then you pigeonhole yourself into a hole that's harder for you to get out of down the line. So, and obviously, if you want to do global and you call yourself something Pakistan, then your brand is only going to reach so far, and then it's going to limit itself globally. So, these are the sort of questions you need to ask yourself. It's the preparation you need to do. You need to be creative when you're coming up with your name and think about the long term, not just the short term, which you should do in every aspect of life. In every aspect of what you do, you should always have a long term plan and a medium goals to help you get to the long term plan. And then you need to do the short term day to day actions and activities that will help you reach those medium goals, which ultimately are helping you reach the long term goal via the long term plan. So these are some of the things you need to get right early on, otherwise they'll be costly later on. And then when you pick your name and your brand and you're comfortable with it and you're confident with it and you think it's portraying the right message, etc., what a lot of businesses do, they might register a domain name, and then they go about marketing and sales and whatever, and then they realize they need to do digital marketing, which is one of the best ways of marketing a business, because when you haven't got a lot of money in the early days, it just takes time, and you can spend as much time as you want to, and then basically, if you're deciding you want to go down the digital marketing route and you want to market your business, when you established the business for a while, sometimes you go to social media platforms, you try to get the handle for your business, and you realize it's already gone because someone else has already taken it. So if you don't, so once you started your business, you've got your name, you've got your brand, you should go through all social media platforms, domain names, and everything else that you're going to need for your business. And you need to secure and research, make sure you can secure the same name for the same brand message, and for continuity, you need to have the same handles across all devices. So your Twitter, your Instagram, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your company pages, your Facebook pages, your domain name, they should all be the same, so that you have uniformity and you have consistency. And I've seen so many businesses, create a name, create a website, maybe have a Twitter handle, and then they want to go and get other handles, and they're already taken. So try not to let that happen to you, because as you grow, you're going to want all of these handles. And if you've picked a name which is very common, very popular, you may find your names have gone, which basically means then you have to come up with a solution, which means you slightly change the name, etc. And then because you're slightly changing the name on each platform and each handle, you've got no consistency, no continuity, and you're losing your brand power and your brand message, because when people are searching for you, they can't find you because you're different on every platform. So these are some of the challenges that young entrepreneurs and new business owners face, but they don't realize they're going to face them at the start. They realize it becomes a problem later down the line. And if you actually just researched properly at the start and registered a business and the domain and all the handles, then you've just avoided yourself a lot of problems and hassle in the future. So, these are some of the things that I think is important to get right early on, because they save you a lot of cost, a lot of money, a lot of headache later on down the line. So it's being clear on your vision, being clear on your brand positioning, being clear on your messaging, making sure you have a uniform, consistent brand online presence. And that way, then, you're going to be able to make a bigger impact on the marketplace you're going into. And then something I always advise people to do, whether you position your brand at the bottom, at the entry level, or whether you position your brand in the middle, or whether you position your brand as a high-end brand, you need to make sure that your branding, your logos, everything you're doing is consistent with that messaging. You also need to make sure your product and your prices and your services are consistent with that messaging. So even if you're in the bottom end, or you're in the middle end, or you're in the top end, you should always have a number of products, a number of services, a number of packages, which are obviously predominantly aimed at the part of the marketplace you're trying to go into. But you should also have smaller packages and larger packages, so that when you're dealing with people, whoever you're out there selling to, marketing to, advising, whatever, when you're dealing with people, you're giving people options and you're giving people choices. If you give them one option, one choice, one price point, they're going to pick that one option, that one choice, that one price point, because it's the only option they got. Is if you give people a lower entry level option, if they can't afford the middle market or the mass market option, then they're going to go for the lower end value just to get in. And once you've built a relationship with somebody, you can grow them over time. Doesn't matter what entry point they get to. If you have upsells and you have other products and services, add-ons, that sort of thing, and people can work their way up through the marketplace. They can start at the bottom and work their way up into one of your top packages. Again, though, if you're only you've got one package aimed at the middle market, then that's the only option they'll go with. But if they've got more money to spend than the lower end option, and you've given them a larger option, a larger package, more products, more services for a higher amount, if they've got more money to spend and you've done a good job building trust in you, then basically they will go for the higher package, which means you get a higher average order value off them because you've done a good job. So, a lot of businesses start off, they might have one product, one service, one price point, and they're not giving themselves any options. They're not giving themselves options to do business with somebody with a lower budget. They're not giving themselves an option to, for people who they've built good trust and good relationship up with. They're not giving that the option for that person to spend more money with them. So, they're taking less money away from the transaction than they could have got if they just had a different option and a better package. So these are some of the things, again, people get wrong in the early days, and they need to they learn over time that these things they matter and these things exist, and then they make these changes down the line. But if it's taken you a year or two or three to realize that you've only had one package, people would have spent more money and gone for the packages, or some people who didn't have the budget would have gone for a smaller package, but you didn't have that package, then that might be a year, 2, 3, 4 years of losing out on many, many customers just because you didn't have the options there for them. So, these are some of the things, if you get right early on, they can accelerate your business, accelerate your results, accelerate your performance. Yeah. So that's the sort of overview of starting a business, getting the right systems in place, the right packages, the right processes, the right online collateral. Yeah. And if you can get all of that right at the start, then you're going to be in a much stronger and healthier position to continue to grow your business, grow your products, grow your services, etc. Some businesses, like for example Amazon started off as an online bookstore, and now it's added every line of products and services to its portfolio. It's grown over time. Yeah. And when it started its brand, Amazon, in its name is A to Z. Yeah, because it basically does the A to Z of products and services. So it's given itself a name, and Amazon it's named after a river. It's a giant. So it started off as a little bookstop, but its brand lent itself to become a giant because it's a giant that sells products from A to Z. Yeah. So even though it started off as a bookshop, it's not pigeonholed itself and branded itself as an online bookstore. It's given itself a brand and a name that allowed it to grow into whatever areas it wanted to grow into. So, that's what you need to do with your businesses. You need to give yourself room for growth. You need to give yourself a brand that allows growth, and you need to make sure you protected everything you can, including trademarks, the domain names, and all your handles, so that every single business that's massive in the world started off small, and it's only through growth and long-term consistency that those businesses become big businesses. But if you give yourself the tools to grow and the gaps in the market and in your brand to grow, then who knows if you're not, you might become the next Amazon of the future 10, 20, 30, 40 years down the line. Yeah, because everyone starts small, everyone starts somewhere, and it's only through constant knowledge, experience, growth, adaptability, development, technology, partnerships, connections, collaborations. That's how big businesses grow, but they all started from somewhere. And so you have to be thinking long term, not short term, so that you're giving yourself the best position and the best chance to become a giant. Yeah, if you aim big and you think big, you'll become big. But if you aim small and think small, you'll only ever be small. So the mindset is one of the most important things, and getting the structure right is one of the most important things. So that's a bit of an overview. Obviously, as you grow through a business and you do business growth, there's lots of areas that you need to sort of consider, things like your sales approach, your marketing approach, your partnerships, your collaboration, affiliates, wholesale, resale, selling online. There's lots of ways you can grow a business, and I'll cover some of them in future sessions. We'll deep dive on some of them. But for now, I just wanted to get you to get the basics right to start the business, to get the mindset right of thinking long term and how am I going to grow this business, and understanding that there's a lot of different ways to grow your business. I can help you, in other sessions, deep dive on some of those things. But that's the overview, and that's some of the information I think is most important for where you're at right now. And I think I've been long enough now to actually put the session over to you guys. Ask me some questions, find out something about anything you've got that's a bit of a block or a problem or something you're struggling with. I'm here to help. I'm here to try and overcome those problems. So I think we'll put it back to the floor now, and we'll go through everyone and see what questions they got and see what I can do to answer them.
Thank you so much, Mike. Thank you so much for your pearls of wisdom you have shared with all of us. Highly appreciated. Mike, can you set your angle properly? Like the whole session, we were seeing you like half of. I raised my hand, but you were so into it, so you didn't get it. So, to sum up your speech and whatever you have shared with us for our students, we talked about searching the market before going into the market, and then you talked about the proper brand name we must have for our product or service, and then you talked about choosing the correct domain and the social media handle name, so we won't have any problem in the future. And then you talked about the consistency in products and in the prices. And then you gave an example of Amazon, like how it expanded from a bookstore to A to Z, everything we consume in our life. And lastly, you talked about the right mindset and the long-term thinking. Was I correct, Mike?
Yeah, you summarized it extremely well.
Thank you so much, Mike. Thank you so much. I would request participants to please turn on the cameras if you haven't. Samayan Fiverwala and Syed Nabil, please turn on your cameras. Thank you. Sharubai, if you can also, I would appreciate. Thank you. Okay, so students, you have heard what Mike has shared with you. If you have any question regarding what Mike shared, I would ask you one by one. If you have any question or if you want to share what you have understood, so we can move ahead. Abrar, let's start with you. Can you share some of the points you have understood from Mike?
Uh, no, Rahmat bhai, because internet connection is not stable in my device, so I can't hear mic properly.
That's very sad. Okay, Habib Internet Wala, would you like to shed some light on what you have understood? Mujib Freelancing Wala, would you share some of your thoughts on that?
No, everything is clear. He talked about something like how you can marketing and how branding something. So everything is clear.
Okay.
Any question you have, Mujib? Does anyone has any question? Shahrukh, is everything okay? Like students are leaving the session.
Uh, uh, yeah, Ahmed bhai, actually, there's an internet problem right now here, so that's why they are just leaving the room and coming back in again. So that's the main problem, nothing else.
Okay, Shahrukh. Vanya, do you have any question? Vanya, you were not audible. Come again, please.
No, sir, everything is clear.
Would you like to share some of the points Mike emphasized on?
If we have a technical if you have a technical issue and people are having trouble with their signals, it might be better that I continue just to chat with people a little, and maybe you can collect any questions from the students and fire them over to me in the group chat, and I can send them back and answer them one on one individually if there's a technical issue. Um, I think in life it's always important to be able to navigate your way around technical issues. Adaptability is an entrepreneur's greatest strength, or one of them. So when the technology doesn't work, sometimes we have to just override that and find another solution. And that's a good demonstration of how in life sometimes you have to pivot and change. Um, so any questions that any of the students got, feel free. I'm a free resource for you to use with a lot of knowledge and experience. So feel free to ask any questions, any roadblocks that you're having in life, or any challenges you have. I'm here to help you overcome them, to help you accelerate your growth, etc. So feel free to answer questions. Also, I understand when you're young, just something I wanted to put out there. When you're young, sometimes you feel frightened to put your hand up or to speak out or to ask questions because you think maybe other people, uh, might not understand you, or you might not make yourself clear, or the communication may not be good, etc. But in life, the way we improve is by gaining more knowledge and more experience, etc. So sometimes you have to just put yourself out there. You've got to be prepared to, fall in order to rise. And so sometimes you just got to, if you're given an opportunity to ask a question, you should think about, what is it I'd really like to learn? What is it I'd really like to know? And don't be frightened to put your hand up and to speak out, because it's the only way that you'll improve. It's the only way that you'll get better. And, don't regret missing out on an opportunity to ask something or say something that you think, oh, if only I had the courage to raise my hand and ask the question. You only live once, you've only got one life. Don't regret not having the courage to ask a question or to get involved. Just raise your hand, get involved, and you'll become a much greater entrepreneur, and also a much greater person, for having that confidence and belief in yourself, and for that lifelong learning that you'll do, because you asked the right questions and you learned the right information, and you didn't let the opportunity pass you by.
Absolutely, Mike. And at this stage, I think their mistakes are less costlier than mine and your age, right?
Yeah, exactly. But
So they can afford to do mistakes.
they can, but you only got one life, and if you seize the moment, and you always make sure you're the one who benefits from a session. You're the one, when you're listening to a speaker, you ask a question, which often gets you noticed, or gets you, other people talking about you or recognizing you, etc. Never miss an opportunity in life. Yeah, because as you get older,
Absolutely.
they get more important, because you've got less and less time to deal with them. Yes, when you're young, opportunities will come and go, but if you seize each opportunity, you're going to become a much bigger and better entrepreneur, business owner, business practitioner, because of all the things you've learned, and all of the. It's like you go to an event, and so somebody says, "Oh, does anyone want to volunteer to come on stage or something?" If you put your hand up and volunteer to go on stage, then you've got an audience of people who get to know about you that wouldn't have known about you if you sat on your hand and didn't get involved. So never miss an opportunity to promote yourself, promote your business, and to grow.
Absolutely. You said it right, Mike. We have Shahrukh Bhai with us, and he is the project manager of the startups all our students are handling at the moment. Shahrukh Bhai, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate your presence here. You would like to say something? You'd like to address Mike or any of our students?
Thank you, Rahmat Bhai. Um, Hello, Mr. Mike. I was listening to you. It was really wonderful session. I was really appreciating you that you had like spared time for the students. and it's a value addition to them. Like you ask your service, like you offer your services free of them. Like they can disturb you, they can ask you question, they can ask help from you. That's really wonderful, and I really appreciate that. And meanwhile, I also apologize for the inconvenience of this internet thing. This is a technical issue which happened right now in Pakistan right now. I don't know why, but it's happening. So you said the right thing, that an entrepreneur should be adaptive in nature. So they need to do that. And I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I have the same issues now and then when it comes to doing podcast episodes, etc. But you just got to roll with the punches. You know, you got to deal with the hand you dealt with. You can't change it. It's no point moaning about it. It is what it is. Just got to move on.
Absolutely, Mike.
Yeah, that's what we can do.
Absolutely. So I would request again, students, if you have any question regarding what Mike has shared, please raise your hands. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy asking questions. Nobody is going to judge you here. If you are not comfortable speaking English, I can translate that for you.
So let's start with me. I have a question.
Ji Shahrukh bhai.
So maybe they can do it after me.
You
So
can
let's
motivate
start
them,
with me.
yes.
My question is, actually, I am stuck with. I'm listening my voice again. I don't know why. Okay. So my question is, I'm stuck with the sales thing. For an startup, sales is the crucial part, and for that, some courage is needed. This is my, and I'm making it. Can you test it or have a sale for me? So like what I can do? That's what my problem is.
Okay, so sales is about confidence. Okay, the most important sale you can ever make in a business is the one to yourself. Okay, you have to believe in what you're offering. You have to believe that it's solving a problem, it's a solution. You have to believe that it's great value for money and it's the best product and service available in the marketplace or at that price point or whatever you position yourself. If you don't believe it, they won't believe it. Okay? It's a psychological thing. If you're trying to sell me something that you don't believe in, I will feel that. I will feel it in your body language, in your words, in your vocabulary, in your language. I will understand that this isn't something this guy believes in. So why am I going to believe in it? Okay. So if you don't believe in your product and your service, either you're selling the wrong product or service, or it's not good enough. So improve the product and the service to get it to a point where you believe in it. And once you believe in the product and the service and the value for money proposition you're offering, once you believe it, when you talk about it to others, they will feel it. They will believe it. Yeah. It's all about passion. It's about energy. It's about enthusiasm. If you're selling something that's the same as everyone else, where's that passion? Where's that energy? Where's that enthusiasm going to come from? It's just the same as everyone else. Why are they going to buy it off you? Yeah. Don't offer a product, a service, a package the same as anyone else. Design a package which you know is the best value for money package, is the best value for money proposition out there in the marketplace. It's giving more, it's doing more, it's offering more, it's got you and your expertise included in it. Whatever that thing is that makes it the best or makes it unique, get it right, pitch it to yourself, believe in it, and then go and put it out there to the marketplace and put it out there to the world. And if you believe in it and you're 100% convinced that you're solving problems, rather than, so I'm a solution seller, not a salesperson. A salesperson can sell you something whether you need it or not. I'm not interested in selling something to someone if they need it or not. I'm only interested in providing solutions to problems. So I know what I do solves a problem for the person I'm doing it. So therefore, why wouldn't they want it? Who doesn't want their problem solved? Yeah. Who doesn't want to improve their business, improve their life, improve themselves? Yeah. So if you believe that you can solve a problem and you can improve a life, and you can provide a package or a service that's going to enhance somebody's life, their business, whatever. Yeah. If you believe in that, then when you ring people up, are you going to be embarrassed and bashful? Oh, can I spend some of your time? I've got something that you might want to buy. No, I'm going to help you. You know what I mean? You're going to want to take my call. Why don't you want to take my call? I'm here to help you. Yeah. If you have that passion and that confidence and that conviction and that belief, then everything improves. Your calls to sales will improve because you're passionate, you're enthusiastic, which means people want to listen to you. They want to buy from you. They want that problem to be solved. So they'll listen to you. They'll take your call instead of ignoring it, or oh, I've got a sales call on the line. Oh, tell him I'm busy. Yeah. That's the difference. If you have conviction and you have belief in what you're doing, they will take the call versus not taking the call. The more people you speak to, the more people you can tell them how you can help them, the more people that want the solution and say yes to the product or the service or the package that you're offering. All your KPIs improve because your belief improves, your passion improves, everything improves. So, it's about, like I say, the most important sale you can make is the one to yourself. And if you can't make a good sale to yourself, improve the product, improve the service, improve the package, make it so sellable. I call it a no-brainer. If you've got something to offer someone, it should be a no-brainer. They should look at it and think, that's a no-brainer. I'll have that. Yeah. If you're trying to sell something to someone and it's not a no-brainer, they got to think about it. They think, do I want that? Do I need it? Is it good? Is it for me? Yeah. Take away that sort of thought process with people and make them think, yeah, that's a no-brainer. I want it. Why wouldn't I want it? It does everything I need. It solves my problem. It improves my life. Saves me time. It does everything. So it's a no-brainer. Let's go for it. Yeah.
Like selling umbrellas in the rainy season.
Yeah. Like selling a water in the desert, to people who've just trawled through the desert. Yeah. Like, would you like this
Absolutely.
water? How much does it cost? £1 million. Let me have it. I need it. I want it. It's solving my problem. You know what I mean? So you'll make your product the water in the desert, and people will say yes to it.
And also solve that problem for yourself first, and then go to others to solve that problem for them.
That's right. Yeah, and then business growth is about case studies showing how you solved those problems, how you fixed that life, how you made things easier, how you saved them time, how you did all of these things, and then replicating. Do you want your life saved in this way? That's where your marketing comes in. Then I saved this person's life, I made their life easier, I did this thing for them, etc., etc. Who else wants to have their life improved? Who else wants to go down the same process and and get what they need? Most of you guys are offering tech products, solutions, services, that sort of thing. Who needs those products and services? Well, busy entrepreneurs. Yeah. What's the most important asset on the planet? Time. A lot of people think it's money or gold or this, that, the other. No, it's time. No matter how rich you are, you can never buy more time. Yeah. But if you're wise and you're clever and you invest your time, you can always make more money, or you can buy more gold, or do whatever people see as the most important asset. Those aren't the important assets. Your time is the most important asset. How you spend your time will impact your life the most. Spend your time, learning, developing, growing, improving, etc. You will get better. You waste your time, you'll go nowhere. You know what I mean? So your time is the most important asset. And most entrepreneurs are busy. Most of you guys and their startups are offering people the ability to save time, the most important asset. Yeah, who doesn't want to save time? Who doesn't want to, spend more time with their family or doing hobbies and interests and stuff like that, because their business is taking care of themselves, because some genius has come along with some AI and some practical implementation skills, etc., and said, listen, you give me some of the money you're making, I'll save you loads of time, so you can invest that money in spending your time where you want to and not doing these tasks that you're having to do every day because you haven't found a better way.
Absolutely, Mike. On spot. Agreed. Sharbhai, would you like to add something into it?
Really impressive answer. So I just learned from it that I need to have confidence on my product. If I am confident that I can sell it, I can own this product, so everybody is willing to buy it. So that's the key what I learned from it.
Yeah, and just to add to that as well, confidence also comes from things like your marketing collateral, your branding, your proposal, the message you send out to people, your quotes, your ability to take payments easily online. The whole system, the whole process also gives you confidence. Because if you think, I've got a fantastic product, I've got a fantastic service, I've got to give a great message to someone, and then they ask you to send them some information, you've got nothing to send them, or they say to write a proposal and you don't know how to write a proposal, or you don't make that proposal good, etc. Yeah, or they say, listen, I'm interested, how can I make a payment? And then you have to try and send them through 25 different links to try and get some payment off them or something. Make it quick, make it easy, make it simple for people to buy from. Yeah. At the end of the day, if you're in sales, which everyone who's in entrepreneurship is in sales. If you're in sales, be easy to buy from, and have all of the collateral, the tools that you need to convince somebody that not only have you got the best product and the service, the best value for money proposition, but you also can organize a business in a structured way that makes it very easy for people to buy from you.
Agreed to it, Mike. Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, coming back to students, any question, students? Yes, Muji, finally, Muji freelancing wala. Yes, Muji.
Sir, can you please tell something for those founders who are working on their first startup like us?
Yeah. So if you're working on your first startup, yeah, and you're a founder, obviously everything I've covered so far today is relevant to you, yeah. But the most important thing I haven't covered that's relevant to founders is, as individuals, in order for us to grow our business, we first must need to grow ourselves, yeah, because the business is only a vessel or a vehicle for us to do what we can do and to demonstrate what we can do and how we can add value to the world and how we can benefit others and solve problems and provide solutions, etc. So the business is the vehicle, but the person leading the business is the engine, if you like, is the person who's making everything work. And if that engine is limited in horsepower, it can only produce so much output. But if that engine can get better with turbos and boosters and continue to grow with the right mindset and the right skill set and etc., then that engine is infinite. That engine can just continue to add more horsepower, more horsepower, more horsepower, which is why then the vehicle, the business, can grow, because the engine's getting bigger and bigger and bigger all of the time. So in order to power our business, we need to first power ourselves as the engine, as the person behind the business. So personal development, personal skills, learning new skills, having a growth mindset, having an adaptable, flexible approach to technology and new solutions and new AI applications and whatever. Continuous learning and continuous growth allows us to become the people we need to be in order to grow the businesses to the size we want it to grow to. Yeah. If we don't grow, then our businesses are going to stagnate. They're going to hit ceilings. They're going to, not develop further. So, synchronized along with all your business growth, there should be personal growth. We should understand humanity. Understand our positioning in the world. Understand how we can make a difference. Understand maybe if we want to leave a legacy or we want to help others or we want to make an impact. It's about understanding, getting clear on things like what's my mission? What's my mission in life? What's my vision? What are my values? What am I trying to achieve in this world? These are all deep questions that sometimes we have to sit down and ask ourselves in order to progress further. And when you're young, you've got plenty of time to find the answers to these questions, but there's nothing wrong with asking. and trying to delve deeper into who I am and what I'm trying to achieve. Because if you understand who you are and what you're trying to achieve, then you can continue to grow and develop in the right direction rather than the wrong direction, which can waste a lot of time. That's why one of the most important things I teach startups and founders is to follow their passion, because if you don't follow your passion, you end up doing something for the money, or because you got railroaded into it or pushed into it by society or parents or even school, whatever. If you get pushed down a route that you don't want to go down, you might spend 20, 30, 40 years of your life going down that route, and then you may wake up one day and realize, actually, I've been going down the wrong path and I need to switch paths. And then you've just wasted 20, 30, 40 years of your life when you move on to a new path. So it's quite important, I think, to really ask yourself some deep questions about what it is I'm trying to do. What would I like to do for the rest of my life? What am I passionate about that I can also make money from? Because that's your business. You know what I mean? Your business is something that you're passionate about that you can make money from. You might be passionate about 2 or 3 things that you can't really monetize or is difficult to monetize, and you won't make a career out of that. But find the one thing you're passionate about that you do see you can make money from as well, and spend 20, 30, 40 years doing that thing, and you become an expert, and you become the thought leader, and you become the top man in the business, and you'll make money from it, and you won't leave it because you are passionate about it. Whereas if you go into something that you do for economic gain only, at some point you'll lose your passion, your excitement, your energy, your enthusiasm, or you'll get knocked off course and you won't get back on course or whatever. And you, like I say, end up wasting 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 years. Some people get to 60 and then realize they've been doing the wrong thing all their life. You know what I mean? They're just a bit late to do something then, but it's never too late to start a business. And, I think KFC, Colonel Sanders started at 60 and grew a big business before he died. It's never too late to start a business, but it's much better to start one when you're young, when you're energetic, when you've got the ability to take risks because you haven't got people relying on you for their food and for their, house and the roof above their head and whatever. Yeah, that's when you should be taking your biggest risks because you've got the least to lose.
Absolutely.
You find most of the top companies in the world right now, the tech companies, they were all started by students who dropped out of university and started Facebook or Amazon or whatever. They were young, they had big ambitions, big dreams. They started small in a garage or in a bedroom or whatever, and they just were so passionate and focused on what they were trying to do. They just did it and did it and did it and did it and did it until one day they weren't small, they were medium sized, and then they become colossus giants because they just didn't stop and they kept developing and adapting and using technology and creating relationships and building teams and networks. All those peripheral things, they all come over time. But the most important thing for you as the founder is that you keep growing and developing along with your business, and that you're passionate and enthusiastic at it, so you never give in. It's hard to beat a person who never gives up, but it's easy to beat someone who just gives in and packs it in. And if you're not passionate about what you do, within 5, 10, 15, 20, however long it takes, you'll just have enough. You walk away because it wasn't the right thing in the first place.
So adding more pistons to the engine to make the more horsepower in our business.
Yeah.
Okay. So Mujib, your answer was adding more pistons to your engine. Okay. I saw Abrar's hand. Abrar Gangrene Wala.
Yes, I have a question.
Please go ahead.
So, how I can keep interest and consistency on this startup? Something it feels like giving up.
So was it technology was a little bit dodgy? Was the question how do you keep consistent and keep up with the challenges that you face, etc.? Yeah, that was the question.
How to be consistent and not giving up
Yes.
attitude. Yes.
Yeah, well, I think if you're following your passion and you're doing what you want to do every day, then consistency is easier. But it's still, life has challenges and it throws curveballs at you, etc. But passion and enthusiasm in what you do can get you a long way. It can get you back on the horse when you're falling off because you love it. Some people, fall off the horse and never get on it again because they didn't really love horse riding in the first place. But some people, as soon as they fall off the horse, they're back on it straight away because they love it and they don't want to stop doing it. Yeah. So that's where passion comes in. But also, you know, for consistency, the most important thing isn't just your passion, your energy, your enthusiasm. It's your habits, your daily routines, the little tasks that you do every day to get to where you want to get to, the little things that get unseen, the unknowns. Yeah. So, for example, how you set your schedule up each day. You know, what your big goals are, because you should have big goals that are so big it's impossible to achieve them right now. You need to grow into the person to possible and capable of achieving those goals. And when your goal is so big and so far away, it can be like a moon pulling you towards it, like a magnet, magnetizing you towards it. But it's so far away, it seems impossible to reach. So you need to create medium goals, little stepping stones that you know if you achieve those things, they'll help you achieve that massive thing. Forget about the massive thing. Concentrate on those medium things, those tasks you know you need to do to become and achieve the massive thing. And then don't worry about the medium things. All you need to do is decide, okay, in order to achieve those medium goals, which I know ultimately will get me to the big one, in order to achieve those medium goals, what are the daily goals, the daily tasks, the daily routine that I need to put in place, which are going to help me achieve those 4, 5, 10, 20 medium goals, which I know once I've achieved all those medium goals, I'm going to reach the end goal without even trying because I've just been doing my daily tasks. Yeah. So if you're structured like that and you put a routine in place and it's a daily routine and it's well balanced with the rest of your life, with how you spend time with your family and your friends and your hobbies, so it's well balanced, then if it's well balanced, it's easy to maintain. So you can just do it, you know, it becomes a habit after a certain amount of time. Some people say 21 days, some people say 75 days. I just think human beings are different. But if you do a routine consistently and regularly, and it's a good routine, helping you to reach your medium goals, which ultimately will help you achieve your long-term goals, then all you've got to do is be consistent with that routine. Do those tasks, get those sales calls made, get those marketing emails sent out, get the post done on social media, get your networking event done in the evening or the afternoon, and get all of the things that you need to do as an entrepreneur to grow your business. Get it into a daily manageable routine. Decide whether that needs to be 5 days a week, 6 days a week, 7 days a week, however. It's up to you. We're all individual. I don't preach and tell people, get up at this time of the morning, go to bed at that time of the morning. I don't tell people they should be working 4 days a week, 7 days a week, whatever. We're all individual people. You should be doing what's best for you. Do what feels right for you. Yeah? Because we're all different. Don't listen to other people telling you, do it this way, do it that way, do it the other way. Do it your way. It's your life. You only got one life. You're the author, the director, the star of your life. And if you don't feel like that, then you're not living the right life. But you're the one who writes the scripts. You're the one who acts the moves. You're the one who makes the decisions. You're the one who's controlling your life. Don't let anyone else control your life. It's your life. No one else should be the director or the actor or the writer of your movie. It's your movie. You're the star. You decide how it goes. And you decide.
You are the driver of your own car.
Yeah, exactly. You're the captain of the ship. You know what I mean? And the ship's going to sail where you want it to sail. And it's only by the motions, the actions, the things that you do will it take the boat to where you want it, the destination you want to go to.
Absolutely. Mike, thank you so much. It's been an hour since we are listening to you so passionately, and I admire your passion and your enthusiasm through which you are guiding us for the last 1 hour. I highly admire it. I wish I have half of it in me, and it would be great. So really, thanks to you, Mike. Thank you so much for your time and effort and the support and the pearls of wisdom you have shared with our students. Thank you so much.
Thank you for facilitating such a great event, and thank you to all the students who showed up. They turned up, they got involved, they listened, they learned. Keep up the good work, and I look forward to the next session.
We'll continue next Tuesday. Does that suit you?
Yeah.
Great, great. Shahrukh bhai, all the students need to create a review video of this session, what they have learned from it, and they have to tag you, Rehan bhai, Mike, and me in that video. This is their homework.
Perfect. Perfect.
Thank you, sir. Shahrukh bhai, lastly, you would like to say something?
Um, I just want to appreciate Mike again that for his time and valuable effort, what he is doing for the kids. Um, I really appreciate that. Mike, if you have time, so we can uh, virtually sit together again and we can discuss how we can work in future for that. Actually, we were in the same group with Rehan, and he told me that I need to call you and sit with you. So if you have time right now, we can sit after this meeting.
Yeah. We could do that.
Okay.
Great. Thank you so much, Shahrukh bhai. Thank you again, Mike Armstrong.
Thank
You
you.
have been great and you have been so supportive. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone who
Bye.
joined us in the Zoom session. And thank you so much everyone who have been watching us through this live stream on our Rehan School Online Academy Facebook page. You'll find this session on our YouTube channel also very soon. Thank you so much. We'll be here on next Tuesday, inshallah. Take good care of yourself. Do not forget to record a review. I'll see you next Tuesday. Thank you so much. Take good care of yourselves. Bye bye.